Hello, everyone. Welcome to the December's Healer in Healthcare workshop and show. I am just making sure that we are live, so don't mind me. Let me go to Facebook. Awesome. Okay, we're live. So, yay. Okay, Marina just hopped on. Mercury retrograde's happening in a couple days, but we're gonna run with this today. It's gonna be great. So, I am so excited to share and speak about one of my colleagues, a dear friend of mine, to highlight her and everything that she's up to in her business. So we have a lot of really exciting things that we're going to be talking about today. I am going to be teaching about owning your confidence, communicating your value in your business. And as you're joining, you're going to see at the top of this broadcast to click on that link that's going to allow Ecamm Live to go ahead and so that I can see your name when you're commenting. There is an incentive for you to comment and for you to stay the entire time. I'm going to be giving away some surprises at the end. So if you are joining us live, I need to know who you are. So let me know in the comments. Let me know where you're joining from. And we will get started in a couple minutes as people join. And in the meantime, I just wanted to share a couple of quick updates on some exciting things that are coming for 2023. So yes, I see people joining. You can go ahead and let me know where you're joining from, who you are. Again, grant Ecamm Live access so that I can see your name whenever you comment. And again, I'm going to be giving away some fun prizes at the end. So you're going to want to stay the entire time. Okay, so for those of you who are watching on YouTube, I'm going to be posting this recording to YouTube. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting way more of this free content in 2023. A lot of exciting people that I'm bringing on to this Healers in Healthcare show. And also, I'm doing some just fun value add Facebook Lives with a lot of different pharmacists in our profession. So definitely, click subscribe. You're going to want to continue being in this group and subscribing on YouTube. I also have a couple of really fun opportunities coming up. So number one, if you're interested in being a guest on this show and you want to be highlighted, there is an application under the featured section of this group. So you can go ahead after the show and apply for that. Also, I had a couple people who were interested in being a sponsor for the show, which allows you to really highlight your business. So there's a couple different packages that I've created to create that win-win situation so that you can highlight your business on the show. And, you're also supporting everything that I'm doing to really expand this Healers in Healthcare movement. So just wanted to share that with you too. If you're interested in that, my web designer is working on creating a page for you to be able to just go and click and get the link to apply. But for now, just message me if you're interested in sponsoring one of our shows, and I'll share more details with you about that. So again, I'm going to be doing a raffle giveaway. Always fun to do that. You know me, I'm a giver. I love to, give value. So comment, let me know that you're here. I see 4 people here, but I'm not seeing any comments yet. So let us know where you're from, what you're excited about to learn from our special guest today. And before I bring her on, I want to just really speak to, from my heart, the bigger mission of this Healers in Healthcare show and the movement and why we're doing this live show every month. So really this started back in May with the vision of this book. So I had an idea, a vision, a download that came through about bringing other healers in healthcare together to write their story, to share their story in a book. And so, yes, Lauren, you got it. Yes, you get an A+. I'm so excited to see your assignment in Elevate Entrepreneur Academy too. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm glad you accepted the challenge. So yes, I can see your name. So the book was really kind of the launching point for sharing about the fact that we are, as pharmacists, healers in healthcare. And in order to really express the fullness of who we are, it requires that inner transformation, right? Of course, you can have all the business strategy and all of these trainings and all of that, but to fully unlock who you are as a healer, to allow your gifts to be shared, to know how to sell in a soulful way, to connect from your heart with your soul clients, it requires a transformation. And so it's moving from being maybe a pharmacist in your role that wherever you are right now to bridging to heart-centered healthcare through starting a functional medicine practice, through expressing your gifts and channeling them into magnetic messaging and offers and all of those things. And so my mission became twofold. The reason why I created this movement is, number one, I want to really be empowering pharmacy schools to start to train pharmacy students and pharmacists on how to begin developing these knowledge, skills, and attitudes to be able to be more entrepreneurial, because this is going to help patient care and improve patient outcomes. It's going to help you sustainably grow a profitable and impactful business. So that's my long-term goal of what I really see for one branch of this healers in healthcare movement. The other part of it is working with individuals like you, people that are passionate about healing. You want to help your clients to get to the root cause of their disease, their illness, and you're wanting to shine your light out in the world. And so again, a lot of this comes back to being able to unlock who you really are and move past the fears, right? In the last episode of Healers in Healthcare, we talked about overcoming fear. I use a lot of different transformational tools and techniques. And the reason why we do this is because it helps you move from your head into marrying your analytical mind with your heart. And when you do that, you're actually connecting with your clients. You're speaking their language. They're dropping in for you to be able to serve. And so all of this is the bigger vision of why we have this Healers in Healthcare show. And I'm so excited to continue bringing on people like Dr. Marina, who I'll bring on very shortly. I get so excited about just sharing about the vision. But Marina, Lauren Castle, we have Blair Thielemeyer, Katie Wood. There's so many other people that are going to be coming onto the show. And I know that it's not just about me and what I can bring. I want to bring on other healers who can support you. And I was talking to somebody the other day and they were like, oh, but like I compete with you. And I was like, no, actually you don't, because if someone wants to work with Marina or if someone wants to work with Brian McElderry, I want them to come into this group and to be able to come on and share their brilliance, because I can't help everybody. And so that was a big shift for me personally, was being able to just open up to, hey, let's bring on different people. Let's highlight 19 different healers in healthcare to be able to spread this bigger mission. So thank you for those of you who are inviting people to the group, who are, sharing about the mission and everything that we're doing, who have purchased the book, who continue to support me and everybody that I bring on here. So without further ado, I want to bring on my incredible guest. Okay, perfect. We got you on. Mercury in retrograde didn't get us yet. So I want to just read Marina's bio, but I feel like it doesn't really speak to her full brilliance. So I'm going to just share about what she said and what she told me to say, but I'm going to brag about her a little bit more. So Marina is a functional medicine pharmacist, health coach, herbal educator, and lifelong learner of the healing arts. She is the creator of Build Your Holistic Herbal Practice course, mentoring other healthcare professionals in clinical herbal as well as business skills. She is also a functional medicine pharmacist as part of PharmToTable telehealth. I read that like too quickly. Platform. So Marina is, to me, she's a healer, first of all. I mean, I've looked at her chart. I've looked at her astrology chart. She's a healer, a brilliant soul who really has such a passion for herbalism and flower essences and natural medicine and healing. And her and I went to St. John's University, and so she was a year younger than me, but it was just really cool because we connected. I remember we connected at a party back in 2013, and we've been following each other ever since. And I just know that she has so much to give, and I just can't wait to see how your business continues to flourish and to grow. I'm thinking of like a flower growing into 2023 and beyond. So I really just want to honor you and see you in your brilliance, because not many people have that skill set. And I feel like that is your unique brilliance, is being able to work with plants and then also empower other healthcare professionals. So I just wanted to really honor you as a soul, as someone who I admire, who has grown tremendously ever since we started back in 2013. Marina has been on my summit last year. She's been in, I think, 3 books that I've written. And I did want to just show this before I let you introduce yourself. So Marina, here's her beautiful picture in the latest Moving Beyond the Counter book. So yeah, I want to hear from you now. Now that I've bragged about you, I want to just give you the floor and just share a little bit more about what you do.
Well, thank you so much for the wonderful intro. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna ask you to rewrite my bio for me.
This is what I do. This is how, like, okay, so this is a great example, right? So how you connect to your heart and how you relate to yourself is how you communicate your brilliance. And so when you can really connect and know and own, this is who I am, which is actually what we're going through today. This is the perfect like synergy for that. Then your message speaks to the deeper transformation of what you provide. So, yes, I will help you with that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for inviting me on and setting the stage and showing that beautiful picture that was actually on a planned photo shoot. And this is me in real life on the daily. And it's really cold here in New York. So I'm all bundled up. And I really also want to thank you for your brilliance in your work. And I was in your private containers as well. And sometimes you don't realize all the inner work that has to be done until you're taking the action steps. So I think, for me personally, going through the pharmacy system, I wasn't really trained to look at life that way. And the way,
Yeah.
you teach how to run a business and you also emulate that yourself. And I really respect that. And, sometimes I think it only catches up with you later on, like how profound this work is. So I just really also want to honor you and what you are doing. I think is so important.
Oh, I really receive that. Thank you. Yeah, hmm, I really receive that. And that is really the goal and of the bigger mission, right? It's, heart-centered healthcare. So
Yeah.
it's about not dismissing the analytical mind or the strategic part. It's marrying those two parts. We already have it as pharmacists, the ability to be investigators, the ability to look at systems and all of that, but then it's marrying that and unlocking who we really are, which I think when we're taught a certain way of this is how you have to be, it doesn't really allow you, the way we were raised, at least for me, and I'm going to speak about this in the later portion of this episode, it doesn't really allow you to be you. And that's really what entrepreneurship is in my mind. It's allowing yourself to shine as yourself. And in order to do that, we need to deprogram all of the parts of us that were shut down, dismissed in the healthcare system. So that's my goal, is to help pharmacists to unlock more of who they really are, to really own their brilliance, like what we talked about in the beginning. So this is perfect. Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about your passions. Like I know, I've seen so many different things that you've done on Instagram with making tinctures and doing, like, what is your favorite thing? I'm just curious, like, what do you love to do?
Um, yeah, that's such a good question. And I feel like I honestly, if I had it my way, I would be doing a lot more just like of nothing. Because in human design, we're both manifestors.
Yeah,
And so I found that I just really need the alone time for my
yeah,
reset and creativity and understanding myself more in the introspection. And I was programmed to never give myself that.
yeah,
So the plants, why they're so important and why I love implementing and utilizing them in the healing journey is because they actually ask us to slow down. So whether you're doing breath work or yoga or meditation, those are all tools. And the plant world is also a tool because they are slower than us, they move at a slower pace, and they're teaching us to slow down with them, to go observe the seasons, right? When
Yeah.
to harvest them, when is the best time to brew a cup of tea, how do you do your own flower essence. It also decolonizes us and deprograms us to be a consumer. So you can actually do so many things yourself, just by communion and relationship with nature, that you don't need to always go and find a remedy at a store. You could, what I love is the resourcefulness. So using what you have on hand rather than like going out for the next like magic pill, right? It would be so wonderful if there was one, but there isn't one. So, the plans just give you tools. They give you the opportunity to just slow down and take care of yourself. And I love tea. I brought my tea here. It's right here. It says everything will be okay. Affirmation for the day.
Oh, I love
So
it.
all day long, I could just be brewing myself and drinking tea. That would be my happy day.
Mm. It's so funny. Like I get downloads for people as you're talking. I'm like, oh, this would be a good like program name or whatever. It's like so funny. I'm getting these downloads for you. So what I'm hearing is, because this is one of my gifts, is being able to take the intangible energy of what someone's saying and make it into a practical like offer, messaging, whatever. What I'm hearing you say is finding your own unique medicine, right? Because everybody is going to be drawn to taking a walk in nature, meditating, using what you have, your own inner resources too,
Hmm.
to be able to get back into sync is what I'm hearing of like being in. I saw your Instagram live recently about being like having reflection time, right? And winter is a time of reflection and not as much activity. And so that's what I'm feeling for you is like helping people to connect back to that natural cycle of whether it's like their feminine cycle or whatever that might be. So that's to me what your brilliance is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing this whole like winter solstice
Yeah.
holiday time, is like trying to just create space for myself to be
Mm.
receptive rather than like trying to go out and be expansive at a time when it's just not the right season right now for me.
Yeah, totally get that. Oh, you're getting some hearts on that one. Yes. Guys, comment, let me know, say yes, hell yes, I love that. Tell me what ask Marina questions. This is very informal. We're just trying to, provide value and I love it. Look, you're getting more hearts here. So I'll let you know if there's any comments. I'll come back to that. So I want to tap into your deeper why. So what is the impetus or what is your drive that has led to the creation of your business?
Yeah, that's such a great question. And I think it's also one that you could just revisit and refine over and over again over time. And for me, I think it's distilled down into creating expansion, like all of life, and especially the human spirit and physical form. We are trending towards expansion, and that's like our nature is to expand and evolve. So, during my lifetime here, that's my opportunity to expand into my higher self or what my soul is wanting for me. So for me, it's about freedom and choices, and for me, that is what healthcare should be. It shouldn't be like a prison, like here is your life sentence of your diagnosis and here is the pill that you have to take forever until you die. Like I
Yeah.
do not want that to be healthcare. And I have been on the other side as a patient. I've also been a provider. So I don't connect with that. I want there to be choices. I want there to
Mm,
be empowered choices. So for that, we need information and education so that everybody could be making informed choices for themselves and not just this indoctrinated way of manipulating data and selling it as science.
boom. That needs a mic drop. Somebody put a microphone. Completely agreed. Look, you're at Hell's yeah. That has to be Todd because it's with the Z. I know Todd. That's probably what he's probably watching. That's really beautiful, and yeah, I can really feel like into your next level of expansion of how you're going to be empowering healers in healthcare and pharmacists to adapt that too, because I feel like there are probably a lot of people that are interested in whether it's herbalism or other of these, topics that you go into with your business, that you can bring different themes into. I'm getting like a course or like something that can really, serve multiple people, to be able to kind of make this your signature methodology of like connecting to the cycles or getting back to the root of who we are. And I really love that why. It's so powerful. And yeah, and I know that you've shared your story very vulnerably, in the book, on other podcasts. I know we've talked about it so many times, and it's really such a powerful story. And so I want to hear, what would you say now, kind of like expanding into 2023, what would be your biggest dream? Like, let's just declare that. Let's claim that together right now.
Well, let's do it. Yeah, I'm getting
Big,
ideas.
bold decisions.
As you were talking, I'm also getting ideas like roots and rhythms that could be like,
Ooh.
moving and grooving to your own beat. And that is exactly what I think health is all about, empowerment and career as well. What you're doing as a career is a big part of that too. So that's why my passion is both like establishing your health, establishing your purpose, and actually practicing an aligned sort of methodology and work that you want to be bringing out into the world. And it's not necessarily driven by money. So for 2023, when you asked me this question to prepare for this interview, I was like thinking, what I want is honestly just no strings attached collaboration, like going out into different crowds, expanding my reach, talking to people, being on shows like this one, going into different groups and networks. And just what I want is for my message to be heard, right? And if there are opportunities that present themselves for programs or education, which is what I'm really passionate about, is again for that first step as awareness and knowledge and education from where you can make an empowered choice. That's always going to be step one for me. So that if opportunities like that fall in my lap as a result of collaborations and just speaking about topics that are important to me, that I know are important for others to hear right now, is my vision for 2023.
Mm.
And again, I'm trying to lean into more like the feminine receptivity energy here, where yes, I do want to be making money in my business, doing what I love, right? But also, I don't want to control 100% of how it happens. So I want to lean into strategy, but also just opportunity and creating those spaces.
I love that. Well, so if anybody's watching the recording, you know who to contact if you need somebody for a summit or in your Facebook group or whatever speaking. It sounds like speaking opportunities or connecting opportunities more
Yes.
at an even deeper level. That's really nice. Okay. Well, I'll keep you in the back of my mind if there's more opportunities like this, which I'm sure there will be, me. So
Yes.
yeah, that's really great. Yeah. So what kind of circling back to, I guess this is more of like your why, or how everything kind of fits in together with this show. What does it mean for you to be a heart-centered healer in healthcare?
This was also a question that we all got the opportunity to answer in the book. And
Yes.
I think it's such a good point of reflection of like, how do you want to show up as a healer or as whatever you do in healthcare? And how do you want to show up in your life? And that's why the previous question for me was like, I just want to get my message out there. And I realized that I experienced success in my business when I had no expectations. It was just like, this is important, I need to do it. And then people wanted it and people wanted to do business with me,
Yeah.
right? And so for the healthcare that is heart centered, this is exactly what I want to. It's the resonance between you and your clients, the giving the client or the patient, as they're called, which I don't really like that word, but just having that undivided presence, the active listening, just holding space for somebody without judgment and helping them arrive at the best decision for them, for
Mm.
their care, and how that aligns with their values, and really just providing that service. Service is the biggest piece, is like we are providing a service to them for their highest good. And it, unfortunately right now is muddled with like exchange of money and payment and reimbursements and how much can we, do fee for service or other metrics. But it's like, how can we just provide the best service without that as the back thought, right? And just be present for that person, one person at a time, one problem at a time, and give them the best solution, or have a team of people you can refer them to also, so that we give them something that they really want and that actually resonates with them for their healing, which is why the
Mm,
placebo effect exists. So it's like, how can we actually amplify the placebo effect and understand what the person is needing also beyond, the traditional healthcare and the traditional diagnoses? It's like, how can we help this person live a fulfilled life? Is a
mm.
thing, should be healthcare.
I like the way you use the word service because to me that speaks to our heart, right? And really being present and having those coaching skills through, whatever it is, motivational interviewing or being able to really hold space and be present with someone for asking them and facilitating questions to then have them arrive at the answer of like, hey, these are all the tools we have. What feels like a most aligned choice? Like that's the other word I heard was, even though you didn't say it, but you said it before with like alignment
Yeah.
and what that feels like and what feels resonant and good with that person and not dictating for them the treatment, which I know is a big thing that you were talking about before. Giving them empowered choices, letting them kind of, intuitively, like that's another word that I feel like is really probably part of your methodology too, like using your intuition, which is a healing gift that again a lot of us were not fostered. It wasn't fostered. It wasn't taught. I mean, I think that that's a huge healing gift that a lot of women have. Sorry, guys, if anybody's watching. Men probably have it too, but women especially. And I think that that's an important part too of pairing that with this process of coaching to be able to help that patient get the best outcome. So,
Yeah, and I think one of my big messages too is about trust. So establishing trust between you and your healthcare provider, and also reestablishing trust within yourself so that you can trust your intuition and what you're guided to do.
yeah.
Um, Even if you've, made poor choices in the past or had poor judgment in the past, doesn't mean you can't get back to centered and back to trust. And this is exactly why, like, it's oscillating right between the masculine and the feminine, too structured and too chaotic. And so we want to find that balance. And for me, I think trust in the process has been like the biggest challenge, but also the biggest gift. And that's what I want everybody, to experience on their journey to healing.
Yeah, well, because we want to control, right? It's like we want to grip and control. And then so it's that balance of surrender and action. It's like
Yes.
the divine masculine, divine feminine. So I hear you. I get it. I totally get it. Pharmacists have a very unique opportunity understanding the chemicals in our bodies. Look at Todd. He's like, Todd, you're trying to win this prize. Whoever comments the most is going to get the prize. People are different. Yes, I'm just reading some of the other comments. Lauren's loving it. Yes, I love wanting to live your dream by spreading your message. Absolutely. Yeah, so let's talk about, what did you want to share with the audience today about your special offer, your soul aligned
Yes.
offer?
Yes. So, what I would love to invite anybody who's been listening and resonating with what I'm saying, and maybe you've been questioning if you should be exploring with herbalism or whatever other modality you're thinking about. And first of all, I just want to invite you to give yourself permission to explore whatever you're called to do, and don't second guess it. Just kind of see what would it take to take the first step. And if it does happen to be resonating with me and with herbalism, I would love for you to schedule a call with me. And what I would do for you as a free gift is really just sit down with you and map out what it would look like for you. Because my journey, Christina knows, has been like 10 years in the making, with a lot of twists and turns and, the long way around in the scenic route. So what I'm doing now is working with people who are ready to actually accelerate their path if they know that they want to go and learn about herbalism, learn about alternative modalities to add in to that pharmacy toolkit or the mindset. So we already have such a great foundation. So when I wanted to do something different, I didn't want to throw that out with
Yeah.
the bathwater. So what I wanted to do was build on top of that. And so what I do in my main program, my educational program, is I actually give you the fast-paced, organized, fast track to understanding and utilizing herbalism in your life and feeling comfortable and confident to actually recommend it, and then being discerning about the quality of the products and the whole process of how you would evaluate a person or work with a person as a
Mm,
herbalist. So this is what I do. And then I also help you quickly monetize that passion, because it took me quite a long time and lots of coaching and lots of investments. So I just kind of do the two in one, like learn these new skills, get comfortable with them, and then also understand that you can monetize them either as an added income stream or eventually if you want to move into it full time like I did.
that's awesome. So, Priscilla, we will be sharing the link. One of my beautiful assistants will be sharing that link to book the call with Marina in the comments below. So, if I agree, and this is something that I'm developing a new course right now that I'm launching. And that's one of the foundational trainings that I'm sharing with pharmacists is about, we have so many voices that, people have say that they, as an example, heard you just share right now. They're like, oh, I want to reach out to her. But then it's like, oh, the self-doubt. Oh, I have to ask my spouse. Oh, I have to do this, da 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 da. If we just quiet that voice, all of the voices that, the opinions of others, what is so and so going to think, that's when you truly tap into your intuition. It's that quiet voice that is going to guide you and thread you into your highest evolution in your business. So often we are encumbered by, oh, it's a bad economy. Oh, the recession. What is my spouse going to think? But when you allow the fear to be louder than the desire, you're going to keep repeating the same cycles, right? So I want to just encourage all of you, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're feeling drawn to Marina, just reach out to her, right? Just take that first action step, like she said, because life goes fast, right? The end of the year, I'm like, oh my God, where did the year go? So just even if you're scared, even if that fear is there, just click on the link and reach out, because you never know. Maybe she could lead you to someone, or maybe she helps you, or whatever that looks like. So I know as pharmacists, we love to overanalyze, but just take the first step. And I don't bring anyone on this program that I don't completely trust, and Marina will take care of you. So you have that. You have my word that she will absolutely take good care of you. So
Yeah. Thank
yes,
you.
absolutely. Anything else that you want to share? I mean, feel free to connect with Marina. I mean, I don't know if you want to share that, maybe where to connect with you.
Yeah, sure. So thank you so much for having me on. I think, like you said, the trust and the permission, right? Just
Yes.
trust yourself that if you are resonating and it's interesting and you do want to explore something else, trust that you're having these thoughts and desires for a reason. And you owe it to yourself to explore it. And my job as a coach and as a facilitator is not to prove to you that my way is the right way and you should do what I do. It's actually to look at your best interest and help guide you to whatever is actually going to help you the most, even if that's not with me.
Mm,
Again, I will do my best to direct you somewhere that is beneficial and valuable to you. And so this is why we are here. We're heart-centered entrepreneurs, and we're we're really just facilitating the growth and the expansion that is necessary for our soul's fulfillment.
mm.
So thank you again for having me, allowing me to share my message out there. And I look forward to facilitating these kind of conversations with each and every one of you who decides to connect with me. You can find me at drmarinabuksov.com or just Marina Buksov on all the social media platforms.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, we'll be posting this to YouTube. You share it out to your group, and we'll just continue having these really heart-centered conversations about expansion and heart-centered healthcare. So nice to connect with you. And we're going to move on to the second part of the show. Oh, we got some comments here. Awesome. I'm in Marina's class and I love it. You're getting some love. So
Thank you.
awesome. All right. Bye, Marina. Okay, awesome. Let me just get connected here. All right. That was really powerful. I'm so glad that she came on. Marina and I have known each other for many, many years. And yes, Todd, I see. Yes, we did a podcast together recently. Thank you for being here, Todd. I love it. Okay. So continue commenting. Like I said, I'm going to be picking probably 2 winners for some surprises at the end. And now we're going to kind of shift gears into owning your confidence and communicating your value. So, something came across for me recently that I just want to share that I think is going to resonate with a lot of you, because I know that I'm not the only one who goes through this. And I know that our training and everything that we've been through in our lives, as women, as healthcare professionals, has impacted how we see ourselves. And so, just I always like to be raw and real about what I experience. So I've been doing this for 10 years and I still have these experiences where I kind of find myself going back to these old patterns or old ways of being. And so being aware and having this transformation work along with practical strategies will help you scale your profitable healing business. And that's why I'm here, to help you to do that. And again, I experienced these things too. So my parents recently came to Pittsburgh and they, we had a great time. And I wound up getting triggered by my dad. So he said he was late for something. We were getting ready to go to dinner. And, they were 20 minutes late. And for me, a big wound of mine, and this all relates to the training, I promise, is that I realized that I had been dismissed for a lot of my early life. And I know that if you're a pharmacist, you can relate to this, right? Or, you've had different experiences through life that impact your confidence. And so if you spoke up or spoke your needs or spoke your truth and someone dismissed you, or your voice was suppressed, or you felt like, even think about back in elementary school, we felt like we had to ask to go to the bathroom. And like the same thing as a pharmacist, you have to say, oh, hey, I have to go to the bathroom. So we're constantly taught to give our power away, or we've been dismissed before. And having that experience with my dad, he showed up late and it was like, oh, well, here I am, not really. I felt dismissed, and I realized that this was a point I wanted to speak to, because I feel like it's those experiences that shape how we show up in the world, right? So if we've had those experiences as children, as pharmacists, and these repeated experiences happen over and over and over again, we dim our light, we quiet our voice. Maybe you got criticized, bullied, abused, you failed at something, or you didn't get the approval or validation from a parent. Those experiences impact your confidence and how you show up in the world. So if you can relate to this, if you're like, yes, I can relate to being dismissed, feeling like I had to give my power away, or maybe someone gaslit you in your life and you felt like, you spoke about something and they were like, oh, what do you mean? Like, they doubt your reality. And again, this isn't a conversation about blaming or looking to the past. It's just acknowledging that these things have happened that lead to our embodiment and how we show up in our business right now. So if you've had experiences of any of these things, it's going to be impacting your confidence. And whenever you go to, have an idea, or you want to speak up, or you want to go do that Facebook Live, often what happens is you go to that fight, flight, or freeze response. So whenever you experience trauma, there are high frequency gamma waves that get emitted from your brain that create this like shock, right? And so as a result, norepinephrine gets released, cortisol gets released, and it creates this cascade so that whenever you have that trigger again, like I did, with my dad, if I felt like I was dismissed, right? Then all of that comes back and you go into fight, flight, or freeze. So for me, I go to fight, right? I get upset. you could run away and avoid, or you freeze. And so if you're realizing that this is part of what happens as you go to take action in your business, I want you to know that it's not cognitive. It's not a rational thing like, oh, well, I just have to put myself out there more, or I have to just take action in my business. It might be related to either trauma or past experiences where it wasn't safe for you to shine your light, where it wasn't safe for you to be all of you. I definitely had a lot of shame put around the way that I was, the way that I was showing up when as a child. I was highly sensitive. I had a lot of emotions. And so my parents didn't really know what to do with me at that point. And so as I got older, I realized that I had all these suppressed feelings. It led to disease. This is part of why I am a transformation coach and a healer, is because I know what that journey is like to move through being highly sensitive and not knowing how to have any tools to cope with it. And so this is the journey. I want to help you to reclaim your confidence. And I want to show you a little bit about the chakra system today because I think this is really important to understand. Yes, absolutely. I see some comments here. Amazing insight. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Definitely not, Todd. So your inner child sits in your sacral chakra here. So I don't know if you guys can see my where my mouse is, but it's the orange. It's the orange circle. So this is your energy system. And each of these chakras, it corresponds to specific organs, specific meridians, and all of that. And so the sacral chakra is all about your inner child. It's your creativity. It's actually your wealth center as well. So if you're finding that you're stuck in your business, oftentimes the sacral chakra is where I go, especially with one-on-one clients. We do a lot of this sacral chakra healing because what happens is you have your inner child in the sacral chakra, then the solar plexus right above it is often the inner critic or the inner parent. So what's happening is that you as a child spoke up or had a desire or whatever it was, and what did your parents say? Oh, that's a dumb idea. Oh, you can't do that, whatever. So there's this vicious cycle that's happening in between those two chakras. And it's often a punisher cycle. So we got punished because you spoke up or you said your desire or whatever it was. And so it's this repeated cycle that's now playing out in your business, right? So the healing is going within, doing this deeper transformation work, because what happens is you get wounded, and have the shutdown or the hiding, right? Whenever we have shame is one of the lowest frequencies that the human body can hold. We want to hide. So there might be a fear of being seen as part of one of the blocks that you're experiencing. And so what do? We learn coping mechanisms to protect that inner child, right? From having to experience this wounding from the outside. So it could be criticism in your business, and you're afraid to be seen because you don't want to be criticized, or you don't want somebody to say, who the hell do you think you are, right? So we create these protective mechanisms, which are self-sabotage, procrastination, people-pleasing, perfectionism, imposter syndrome. All of these are these defense mechanisms to keep your inner child safe. And so this is the healing, because once you allow that safety within yourself, then it feels safe for you to shine in your business. It's safe for you to be yourself and to call in the soul clients that are wanting what you have. And so that is the transformation that I provide using all of these different tools that I, talk about: NLP, EFT, nervous system support, all of these different things, these different tools that I use to help facilitate that transformation so that you're able to actually call in clients that are ready to pay you. So you're clearly communicating your soul gift so that you're allowing yourself to be seen and to be visible, because there are a lot of negative consequences that can come with that, like the criticism that can come from, different people. And here's the thing though, when you're so anchored in your confidence and you don't give a shit, let's just put it plain and simple, that's when you're untouchable. And so you can have those people say whatever they have to say, but you're so rock solid in who you are that you're unshakable. So I want to just speak to quickly the couple different ways. I have some notes here. So if I'm looking over here, this is what I'm looking at. A couple different ways that we have these protective mechanisms that show up. So masks that we wear, these unconscious masks that actually block connection. So you're covering your heart because we've gotten rejected or disappointed or whatever has happened in your past. So we create these walls around our heart for protection, but it's not allowing the authentic connection with your soul client. And so we need to, and this is all the work that we do in Elevate Entrepreneur, releasing these layers, releasing judgment, all of these deeper layers that are actually preventing you from connecting with your soul client. And this shows up in your sales conversations, in your messaging, in your offers, in how you communicate your brilliance. When you are so deeply connected to your heart and to that confidence that I was talking about before, then there's really no fear of rejection because it doesn't matter what's happening outside. You love yourself. You're connected to yourself. So the masks that come up oftentimes that I see is like the need to be perfect, right? Perfectionism. Another one is like the independent woman, which I proudly wore for many, many years of like, well, I don't need any help. No, I'm good. Like keeping everybody at arm's length. Suppressing your emotions so everything looks good on the surface, but there's not really an authentic connection with maybe yourself, with other people. And again, I'm not saying this to blame or shame anybody. It's just to really bring to your awareness. This is how we create these walls around our heart because we're trying to actually survive. And so people are in survival mode, not realizing that this is operating, and they're doing all the things in their business, right? They're doing the all the strategies that the business coach told you to do. They're making themselves maybe even visible, but people aren't actually connecting to you because they can't connect to your heart. So again, that's why it's heart-centered healthcare, right? Allowing you as the healer to connect with yourself so that you come into a room with that confidence, with that power, like boom, here I am, right? It's releasing the fears. It's moving through releasing these masks that we wear. Another way this shows up is the armor that we put around our heart so that we don't get hurt again. So defensiveness, skepticism, the lack of feeling worthy to receive good things or to receive clients. This is another way that and again, all of the things that I'm sharing, like I've gone through it too. So don't worry about it because this is something that can be healed. This is something that you can really move through, and I'm living proof of it, and I'm still learning and still growing. So don't beat yourself up for having these things. It's like, oh, okay, now I'm aware of it. And there are tools and there are programs and resources for me to really tap into to be able to connect more to who I am and to shine in my brilliance and the fullness of who I am. So the armor, we were talking about trust before. Armor, another way that this shows up is that you're not really trusting of other people or you're very guarded. So people who have experienced trauma, oftentimes their aura, so your typical aura is like 3 feet around you. But people who have a really tight aura, there's a lot of fear, right? Because it's like, I have to hold my energy here. So we actually just did, I taught this in Elevate Entrepreneur Academy, a really powerful exercise to help you anchor in safety in your body and to allow yourself to expand your aura so that when you're speaking to your clients, when you're putting yourself out there on social media, the energy that you bring is expansive. So that's another way it shows up. Different coping mechanisms as well. Being judgmental, actually, the reason why judgment comes up is it's actually a protection mechanism. Because if you're judging someone out there, then it's a payoff because then you don't have to feel the unworthiness or whatever's going on within yourself. So there's so much depth to everything that I'm saying. I'm just kind of giving you a general overview, but this is how we block off connection with ourselves and with other people. And so when you do this work, when you're peeling back the layers of forgiveness, forgiving people who have hurt you in the past, or releasing judgment or looking at your patterns, it's allowing your heart energy to actually be more magnetic. And the Heart Math Institute has shown that your heart energy is thousands of times more powerful than any brainwave. So if you're only trying to work on strategy, your results in your business are going to be limited, right? So when you connect to your heart, when you marry a clear intention with an elevated emotion, that's when you're able to connect with your soul clients who want to hire you, who want to pay you for your gifts. This is what I want for pharmacy, because the more that you shine your light, the more patients you can help, the more you bring love and healing to the world. So this is the bigger mission, and this is how I work with clients. And again, that's why I'm bringing so many different people on to show you there are a lot of different ways to go about this. To, if you're interested in herbalism or, functional medicine or whatever that route is for you, to follow that desire. Yes, Lauren's like really loving this. Yes, yes, yes. I see all these. Oh, I'm so glad, Lauren. That's beautiful. Yes, I love it. So yeah, so these are the different mechanisms that we have that block connection. And I'm actually going to be going through this. Anybody who's coming to my wealth expansion workshop, I'm going to be sharing about this as well. How to really connect with your audience, because that's so important for these three pillars. And this is something that I channeled recently to scale a successful business. I'm doing this because this was how it was presented to me in my mind's eye. Operating with integrity, with intention, and love. And when you operate your business on those three foundational pillars, that's when you unlock your six-figure frequency. And of course, this is more than just money, right? It's the impact, because the more that you circulate your inner wealth into the world through your voice, through your gifts, through having an open heart, then wealth naturally circulates back. And you don't need to know how. It will, because you've done this inner work to open your heart, to connect with people, to shine your light, so that when you're putting yourself out there and you're communicating a clear offer, right, masculine structure, you need to have the feminine and the masculine. You need to have the feminine frequency along with a masculine structure so people know where to land, right? And so when you're circulating and putting that out there, the people that are meant to be your client or that are meant to hire you, or maybe you have a helpful connection or whatever that is, that's going to come back to you naturally. So this is actually allowed to be a lot easier. There's all of this, hustle and the hyper masculine of like building a business, and it has to be hard. I teach that when you marry that analytical mind, the smart systems, along with the pristine energetic alignment, that unlocks your six-figure frequency to be able to call in clients, to be able to create offers that really serve your clients, that create a deeper transformation. So I wanted to give just a couple of quick, things to kind of end this. And this always works out perfectly for the timing. So the first thing that I want to talk about is that inner child healing. So we kind of talked about how your inner child lives in the sacral chakra, the inner parent or the inner critic lives in that solar plexus, and it creates that vicious cycle. So one thing that you can do is you can even, do this with me now, and just, hopefully nobody's driving or anything like that, but you can just close your eyes and just create safety in the body. This is just a simple exercise that you can do. So when you find yourself triggered, or you're finding yourself moving through something challenging, just planting your feet on the ground and feeling the support beneath you. Just pressing your left foot into the ground. Feeling the stability. Almost like you're pressing on a gas pedal. And just breathing. Noticing the temperature of the air. Feeling the relaxation of your shoulders, just letting go. Maybe putting one hand on your heart, one hand on your solar plexus, or your sacral chakra, which is right near your belly button. And what we're doing is regulating your nervous system to let you know that you're safe. You can press your tongue to the roof of your mouth. This activates the vagus nerve. Just letting go. And maybe saying a mantra to yourself like, I am safe. I feel the support beneath me. I'm surrounded by light. Whatever feels good for you. And then just allowing yourself to yawn or breathe out whatever is coming through for you. Just letting yourself be here now. You are safe. So that's just one quick example of something that can help to regulate your nervous system, because oftentimes we're on that hypervigilant state, and there's a range of, hypoarousal and hyperarousal. Sometimes we're in that high anxiety frequency. So this is going to help you just kind of regulate more of coming back into neutral. So there's hypoarousal and hypo and hyper. Hypo, if you're in hypoarousal, it's more of the numbing behaviors like binging Netflix for 10 hours or smoking, eating, numbing. And then hyper is more so like go, 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 that sympathetic energy. And so you want to bring that back, if you're in that, back into, pressing your tongue to the roof of your mouth, activating the parasympathetic nervous system. So that's just one little simple thing that you can do. And I know that we were going to talk about, communicating your value, but I feel like when you're so rock solid in your confidence, like the first part of what we talked about, and you have done this deeper inner healing to be able to truly connect with yourself, to know your rare and regal soul gifts, it's easy for you to communicate that out, right? So once you have the confidence, you can easily communicate the value that you provide, because you have the layers of self-love, self-respect, self-worth. So everything that I do always involves both the energetic and practical parts. So it's both the energetic part of aligning your energy, your frequencies always first, through doing these inner practices, helping you shift your energy, anchoring into that confidence, but then also having masculine structures to be able to sell, right? So we can say, oh, like these are all the goals that I want, but if there's no structure to what you're doing, people don't know where to land. And so that's part of the magic that I bring, is that I marry those two components, the pristine energetic alignment with smart systems to help you scale. So we're going to be diving a little bit deeper into communicating your value in the Making the Leap from Retail workshop, which is on the 21st. I'm doing so much in January, so I'm trying to think in my mind. So it's on the 21st. It's a Saturday. It's 2 hours. You get a beautiful PDF. You guys know how I do it up with PDFs. The 2-hour workshop with me. We're going to be going through how to monetize your gifts, knowledge, and brilliance. I'm going to be sharing with you some passive income strategies that you can use, as well as how to create a signature offer. So if you're, again, this is the masculine structure that I talked about. If you have all of these ideas, but nowhere for people to land, you have nothing to sell, right? So you have to have some kind of structure, whether it's an e-course, a one-on-one program, whatever that is. So we're going to be talking about all of those different components and really allowing it to feel easy for you, allowing it to feel good, and not for you to think, oh, well, Marina did an e-course, so now I have to do an e-course. And I actually walk you through that in the book too. So I did want to just share, if you don't have this book yet, highly, highly recommend getting it, because I actually walk you through some of these principles as well, as I was just flipping to the page, past the page of the Independent Woman Mask. That's so funny. So I do help you in both my last book and in this book to really dive deep into what are your soul gifts, what are the life lessons that you've learned, and the things that you can bring into your client interactions. Because I believe that while certifications are really important, of course, like we need a PharmD, we need certifications. I find that pharmacists really, to communicate the deeper transformation of what you provide and to move from being a nice to have to a have to have for your clients, it really comes down to those components of communicating your brilliance and being able to articulate your high value solution in a way that you're really getting your soul client. And so part of that is knowing yourself and knowing what are my rare and regal soul gifts, what are the life lessons that I'm here to share. Communicating and sharing your story, so important. So all of those things are going to be found in the both of those books. So I don't have my fourth book right now, but it's also on my website, but definitely get this book if you don't have it. So, oh my gosh, all these comments. Look at this. I just see hearts, hearts, hearts. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to be going back through the comments. Priscilla, if you could just drop the Making the Leap from Retail workshop link. Priscilla's going to share that in the comments. And if anybody has questions, I'm going to be coming back to this, and just ask me one clear question. If there was something from the episode that you're like, oh, I really want to know about that, ask me one clear question in the comments, and I'll circle back in the next couple days and go ahead and answer that for you. And in the meantime, I just am wishing you such a, just relaxing holiday season. I hope that you do get to rest. I know as pharmacists, especially as entrepreneurs, we're always like, I have to keep going, but I really agree with what Marina is saying. And I'm definitely creating that space as well to just reflect, receive. Like I said, I received a completely new program the other day because I, created space. So there's so much value in having that balance. So give yourself permission to rest, to, enjoy your children, to, do nothing, whatever that might be for you. And I will see you on the next episode of the Healers in Healthcare show. Bye.